Hello and welcome to the international celebration from Birmingham. Hello and welcome to the international celebration from Birmingham. Thank you very much to everybody who is in our live audience in Birmingham today. Thank you to everybody who is joining us from all around the world. We're really sorry that you can't be here for the beginning of the new semester, but we hope that you're going to be able to come and join us soon and join our international community who are all here with us this afternoon. I'm going to introduce myself and I'm going to introduce all of our panel in just a few minutes. But while people are still coming, because we know it takes a few minutes, people need to find the right place and get here. While people are still coming, we've got some music for you for just 5 minutes to allow for anybody who's coming late. So I'd like to introduce to you, and I hope that you will clap and applaud for. Are you there? Yep. So we've got Midge, who's going to come out and play for you. Midge is one of our students. Midge is a PhD student studying environmental sciences, something very complicated about plastics and the environment. You can ask her about that later. But today, Midge is here to play her guitar, sing for you. She's going to do that for just a few minutes to say hello and welcome and just let the last few people drift into the room, and then we'll do all the introductions and then we'll get started. So thank you very much. Over to you, Midge.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid, no, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, darling, stand by me. If the sky we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, darling, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, you just stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, darling, stand by me. I would like to reach out my hand, how I may see you, how I may tell you to run. You know, say about the young, well, pick me up with golden hands, how I may see you, how I may tell you to run. You don't say about the young. Well, I would like to hold my little hand, and we will run, we will, and we will grow, we will. I would like to hold my little hand, and we will run, we will, and we will grow. Send me my way. Send me my way. Send me my way. Send me my way. Well, I would like to reach out my hand, how I may see you, how I may tell you to run. You don't say about the young. Well, pick me up with golden hands, how I may see you, how I may tell you to run. You don't say about the young. Well, I would like to hold my little hand, and we will run, we will, and we will grow, we will. I would like to hold my little hand, and we will run, we will, and we will grow. Send me my way. Send me my way. Send me my way. Send me my way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Midge, for just starting us off. We're now on time. Everything is going to be working and ready now for the rest of the afternoon. I wanted just to say again, hello. My name is John Elsmore. I'm the Director of Student Affairs here at the University of Birmingham, and it is my absolute delight to welcome you in person to Birmingham, to England, to the United Kingdom. You are all very welcome here, and we're incredibly pleased. I don't know whether you've sensed it around the campus. All of the other students, all of the staff are just so pleased that we can be here again in person, not only with students and friends and academics from the UK, but from our incredibly important international student community. We've missed you, and it's fabulous to have you back, and so really grateful that you've all come and joined us. So what I'd really like to know from you now is, where have you come from? So what's going to happen in a moment is that right behind me on the screen, you're going to see a code for a website you can go to right now on your phones called Slido. So if I can ask you to get your phones out, go to slido.com, and it'll ask you to enter that code number. Enter that code number on your phones, because then you'll see a question in front of you that's going to ask you, where have you come from? And we're going to start to see a picture build up on the screen of where everybody has traveled from and where everybody has come from to be here in the UK. So first things first, everybody needs to go to slido.com, enter that code. It's really, really easy. I should be able to play along as we're going to do this. So if everybody's logged on, Karen, is that right? The first question will come up and it'll ask you, what country are you from? So, what country are you from? You're doing it already, excellent. So let's see where people are coming from. And the more people that type in the same answer, the bigger it gets. So at the moment, this is suggesting to me that there's loads of people from France in the room, quite a lot of Germany, Indonesia, Where else have we got? So obviously if you spell your country wrong, the Canadians, I can see you there, the Canadas. If you spell your country wrong, it isn't going to contribute to the size of your country as represented on the screen, but that doesn't matter. Some from the Maldives. So we'll just keep doing this for a moment and see where people are from. Fantastic. While you're doing that, I wanted just to remind you all, as our international student community, there are some 7,000 international students who are normally here at the University of Birmingham. It isn't that many of you who are going to be here with us for the start of this semester. And over the last few years, for the numbers of students that have graduated, we've seen students come and go from almost every country in the world. Only some of those are represented in this room. I can see that it's still changing. We've got a really big three, so let's just double check those three. So the French, first of all. Can the French all wave? There seems to be lots of you in. Bonjour, the French. Very nice to see you all. Our closest neighbours apart from the Irish on the other side. Very nice to see all of the French. Quite a lot of Germans in. Where are the Germans? Want to give us a wave? Very nice, very good to see you all. Very nice to see you all from Germany. Anybody in another big country? Anybody in from China? Please do all give us a wave. Excellent. Lots of students from at least 3 different countries and all of those other countries around the world. Who have we got in who's from Canada? Who's that? There's that gentleman there from Canada, joined also by other Canadians from the side. Lots of other places that people have come to, and just terrific that you've travelled here to join us today. So let's get up on the stage, first of all, the panel who are going to join me for the rest of the afternoon. So panel, do you want to come up and sit on the stage, and we'll do some very quick introductions for you all. They're all going to come up now. Please, come on up, come on up. I think there should be enough chairs for everybody. Marvellous. The panel are going to stay with us for the rest of the afternoon. Yep, because I'm going to introduce you right now.
Very good. You've still got the mic.
Yeah. So before I introduce the rest of the panel, I wanted to firstly introduce you to another one of our colleagues who is very keen to say hello and welcome to you all, and that's Professor Robin Mason. Professor Mason is our Pro-Vice Chancellor with a specific responsibility for international students. So I wonder if you wouldn't mind, quick clap, round of applause and welcome, Professor Robin Mason.
That was very kind of you to give me some applause. I'll keep it really brief because you want to hear from the panel, but I did want to take the opportunity to say, just trying to add it up in my mind, 5 things to you. The first is welcome. It is fantastic to see you here. It's been a strange place on campus over the last 18 months because students are the heart of the university. And so we're so thrilled to see you all back, enjoying the campus, enjoying being together, doing all of that safely, of course, but being able to be part of the community here at the university. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to say congratulations. Congratulations for being accepted by the University of Birmingham. You're here at a Russell Group university, so one of the leading universities in the UK, one of the leading universities in the world. We're top 100 in the world. So congratulations on coming to study here, being accepted here, knowing that being accepted at the University of Birmingham already means you're going to succeed. But, and here I've got 3 pieces of advice for you to make sure that you succeed as much as you possibly can. Do 3 things. The first is work hard, okay? You're here, make sure that you get absolutely everything out of your academic studies that you possibly can. I know you will, but make sure that you do. Secondly, make sure that you don't just work hard, make sure that you enjoy everything that the university has to offer. So of course the academic side is really important, but so is joining lots of societies, making the most of all of the university facilities, making the most of the fact that you're at a university which is in a great global city. So enjoy your studies, but enjoy everything else around the studies as well. Make absolutely the most of your experience here at the university. And the final thing is to say you'll always be supported in what you do, in your studies and in all of your extra studies activities. I'd really encourage you to make the most of all of the support services that we give. And let me put a particular plug in, because I think it's never too early to start thinking about what comes next after your studies. The University of Birmingham, we have a fabulous record in terms of the employability of our graduates. We know that the top employers come to this university to give jobs to our graduates. But part of the reason for that is not just because you're doing really good academic study, but also we have a fantastic careers network that helps you to think through what your next steps are going to be. So make the most of the careers network. Do that almost from day one, maybe tomorrow. Make the most of all of the support services. Make the most of your time at the university. We absolutely thrilled to see you. I may be teaching some of you. We did the hands up. I'm from Canada, although you wouldn't necessarily know it from my accent. Are there any economics students in the room? Just the one. Hello. Well, welcome. I may be teaching you. Even if I'm not teaching you, I hope I'm going to bump into lots of you during the course of the year. I'm going to be sticking around afterwards as well, so please feel free to come and say hello. But let me leave you with that message. Well done for coming to the university. Make the most of your time here. You'll find that what you put in, you will get out. Great to see you all. Thanks for coming.
You can sit over there if you like. Thank you. Thanks ever so much, Robin. Before we move on with something else, I just want to make sure that we say hello to everybody else who's joining us on our panel this afternoon. So we've all met Robin now. And if I go sort of down each chair in turn, just do a quick hello, because then some of them are going to be speaking to you in some more detail later on. So next to Robin.
Hi, my name is Helen Eastham, and I'm head of the international student team.
Hi, my name is Wei-Lun, and I'm the international officer at the Guild of Students.
Hi, my name is Faith, and I am a second-year PGR doing a PhD in theology and religion from the United States.
Hi, my name is Ichamati. I'm the welfare officer for International Students Association.
Hello, my name is Lina. I'm the treasurer at the International Student Association.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. So you're going to hear from some of them later, but also answering some questions and answers that we've again set up through the Slido tool. So if you've got your phones again, we're just going to practice using the Slido tool with a couple of questions that we've set up for you. So what you should see when you go back onto Slido now, let's see. You should see a question popping up in just a second. There you go. So, question that involves people in the room and people at home. So people in the room, you're likely going to answer the question, where are you joining from? You're going to answer the question from, I'm in the UK already. People at home may well answer the question, I'm still in my home country. So everybody answering the question, live poll now, and actually, well, that's almost everybody. So either the people who are at home watching are not playing along, or we've lost the live stream somehow. But let's go. Oh no, there you go. There's a couple. So hello, 1%, 2%. Hello. So that's at least a couple. I know we've got more than that, but maybe they can't play along. Hello to the 2% still in my home country. 3, thank you. Second question. Let's have another one, see how we get on with the next one. Okay. Have a look at this question. Pop your answers in the box. What are you most excited about? Exploring, meeting other students, making friends, starting my studies, sports groups and societies. Most excited. Wow, okay. That's fabulous, because today all of our talks are about finding out about the university environment. So one of you is going to be really happy by the end of the session. But I think that it is not surprising, after all of us have spent so much time not being able to spend time with, make friends, meet new people, not surprising that that is the top answer. Let's move on to exploring campus still popular. Can we have the third and final of these test questions, please? What attracted you to the University of Birmingham? This is a marketing poll at the same time. Excellent. Terrific. Still a bit of movement there, but great that you've mentioned that, because Robin mentioned that in his opening welcome. But really nice to see some of those other things, particularly about the British experience, because it's always one of the most impressive things about international students who have travelled to another country. One of the things I find always most awe-inspiring when I'm talking to a group of international students is that you've travelled from another country to come and live and study in another country, and to do that just takes such incredible strength of character and resilience and bravery, and so it's fabulous that you want to share in our culture and that experience here. We're going to return to Slido later, because we've got a question and answer session where you'll be able to type your own questions in, and somebody from the panel, including the students we've got with us and our International Students Association and our International Students Officer, will try and answer some of those questions for you. They're the kinds of questions that you might not want to put your hand up and ask in front of everybody else. So whatever question you've got, you'll be able to type it in, it'll appear up on the screen, and as many questions as we can get through at the end of the session, we'll try and get through those there. But next thing I really wanted to do is move on and introduce some of our other speakers. And the first person I'd like to hand over to now is Wei-Lun. Wei-Lun Chen is our International Students Officer from the Guild of Students. Wei-Lun, do you want to come up, take the stage and say hello? This is Wei-Lun.
Thank you, John. Hello, everyone. My name is Wei-Lun. I'm your International Officer at the Guild of Students. And I'm also an international student here at Birmingham. First and foremost, welcome to the University of Birmingham. And congratulations on earning your place here. You have worked hard to get here, and you should be proud of yourselves. It's both an honor and my pleasure to stand before you today and welcome you to this amazing community of staff and students. We are delighted that you're joining us to study here at Birmingham. Today, we have master, PhD, and postgraduate students. Can I see our postgraduate students raising your hands, please? Wonderful. And we have exchange students joining us today, too. Can I see our exchange students? And can I see our undergraduate students? So majority are you undergraduate students. And as well as those connecting with us online, let's give each other a round of applause to celebrate us being here together. This is the start of a great journey. As a student at the University of Birmingham, you are joining a world-leading research community, a Russell Group university, and a top global university. But that's something you already know about the University of Birmingham. Now I want to tell you some things perhaps you don't know yet. There are many things you can look forward to while studying at Birmingham. And if, like me, when I first arrived, sat in this very great hall, listened to the Guild President's speech, I'm guessing you have thousands of questions and can't wait to go out there and learn and explore. So I will start by answering 3 key questions: why, how, and what. So why did you come to this university? Why did you travel all the way here to study? For me, there's nothing more valuable than coming to another country, learning from a diverse group of people, and engaging with a community of so many talents. I always wanted to study abroad. As a child, I told my mom I wanted to travel the world and see different people. In high school, I was in constant conversation with my parents, telling them how much I wanted to study abroad. They had lots of worries for me. Can you survive by yourself? Can you access the support? Can you get what you want from the experience? The opportunity to study here did not come easy. I had to fight and prove myself, take extra lessons, pass additional exams in order to come here to study. And for many of my fellow students, I imagine you have worked hard to get here too. Congratulations, you have succeeded. The word university derives from Latin, Universitas Magistrorum et Scholarium, which means a community of teachers and students. As part of our community here at Birmingham, you will not only have the opportunity to take a deep dive into the subject you have chosen, but you will also work with the best and brightest student staff from across the globe. Each of you here is special, and every single one of us has brought our own cultural values, intellectual perspectives, and unique lived experience to this university community. You arrive here having some sort of idea of what you want to do after university, and what experience you want during your time at Birmingham. You may have a profession in mind, a career and a life you want to pursue. That's amazing. Don't ever let go of that. Always remember where you come from. However, I also encourage you to be open to new ideas, different perspectives, or changes of directions. I arrived at this university wanting to be an engineer and create great things for this society. But later, I found a greater passion, learning about humans, physiology, and impact of physical activities on human life. University is where you can learn about who you are and what your purpose is. And you can achieve this with the support of this community. So, how? How do you make the most out of the University of Birmingham experience? My answer is people. There are academics and researchers who spend years in the field of study, and you can learn from them. Ask questions in lectures, get involved in seminar discussions, and try to get as much as you can in tutorial meetings. There are 40,000 students at our university. Learn from your fellow students who can tell you stories that you never knew. Make friends with home students who can tell you about their lived experience in the UK, so you can learn more about the culture here and their personal stories. Engage with local people at the city of Birmingham. Volunteer in local communities. Attend events or work an internship in local business. There is so much you can do and learn as international students at Birmingham, the youngest city in Europe, a multicultural city with diverse communities. Make the most of your University of Birmingham experience. Meet the people at Birmingham. Meet other people who came to Birmingham like yourself. Forge friendships and create the memories that you'll be proud of to look at later in your life. Now, on to my final point. Alongside your study, what can you do at Birmingham? What's available here? For many of you, the term Students' Union may be something new. The Guild of Students is the Students' Union at Birmingham, and is here to represent and support our students to make the most out of the university life. You can join the society or start a society. You can volunteer or work part-time. You can get academic and well-being support when you need it. You can become student representative for your course, help your course mates, and be a leader. You can run an election and lead the guild, and be the person standing here speaking to you, to other students. And of course, you can come to the activities and events at the Guild and meet all the wonderful students and staff. Alongside all of this, you will develop your employability while you study at the university, and there's a variety of opportunities for you to do so. Through your studies, you will learn skills and expertise for a career you want to pursue, but you can go an extra mile. You can take up part-time work on campus through WorkLink. You can join sports clubs. You can volunteer for UB Sport or guild societies. And there is a dedicated team at the university called Careers Network, as Robin mentioned, who are here to support your careers development, offer workshops, and host careers mentor scheme. Careers Connect also provides fairs and internship opportunities, and you can even get support in starting your own business through Be Enterprising. What I'm trying to say is there are a great deal of opportunities, and it's all about what you like to get out of your experience here. A question I often get asked is, how do you balance your university life? How do you manage your time? And the secret to this is focus on what you want the most. Don't forget where you come from, and I don't mean which country you come from. I mean what brought you here, what have you been through to get here, and why you came here. Especially when you're struggling, which happens to any of us from time to time. When you're lost, when you want to quit, remember why you came here. And make friends, make good friends. Good friends will be the best support in those difficult times and will create the happiest memories with you at the university. I wish you all the best for your study and for making the most out of your university experience at Birmingham. Thank you.
Thanks ever so much, Wei-Lun. I'm now going to ask Ichamati, who's the welfare officer from the International Students Association. She's going to come up and say hello and welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Ichamati, the Welfare Officer for International Students Association. I would like to begin by welcoming you all to UOB. We are very glad for you to become a part of this diverse community. As the name stands, the International Students Association is the association for all international students on campus. Our aim is to improve the experience of international students. We do this by first acting as a space where international students can come together. As an association, our memberships are free and thus open and accessible to all students. We host a lot of social events throughout the year, including games night, karaoke nights, trips to museums, as well as day trips to other UK cities. We're also open to any suggestions, so if you have any ideas of events that you would like, please don't hesitate to contact us. As your welfare officer, I'm here to answer any questions that you might have about university life. If you don't know where to go, need some help, drop me a message and I can signpost you to all available resources. This year, I'm also hoping to run some welfare-based events, such as exam time study sessions, mindfulness sessions, etc. We're also reintroducing our Campus League football team. This is for all our athletically inclined members. If you're interested in playing, we have a six-a-side football team that plays other Campus League teams every Wednesday. And at the end of the year, hopefully win prizes, but no pressure on that. We work very closely with Wei-Lun here, and we have in the past campaigned to ensure that interests of international students are considered when administrative decisions are taken. And we are committed to create a more inclusive, diverse campus and ensure we celebrate the global culture that we have. If that sounds something that you are interested in, what are the next steps? First of all, follow us on social media. We're there on Instagram and Facebook. Just search ISA UOB and you will stay updated on all our latest developments. Second, if you want to chat a little bit more about upcoming events, visit us at Society's Fair tomorrow. We will be there and we'd be happy to give you more information about whatever we are doing through this term. We also have a Freshers WhatsApp chat, which is a great place to ask questions and get really fast answers. and also to make your own plans with other people who are interested in similar activities. Hope you have a great year or multiple years if you are a first-year student, and hope to see you around campus sometime. Thank you.
And now, Helen, can I invite you to come and talk? So Helen Eastham, who's the head of our international student team.
Hello, my name is Helen Eastham. I am head of the international student team, and I want to echo what everybody else has said, and that is just how fabulous it is to see our students back on campus and physically here with us. So welcome to you all. The international student team is here to provide advice, guidance and support to our international students. You can contact us by going to our intranet pages. You can book appointments to come along and see us if you need to talk about things, if you need to ask questions about anything that's concerning you. We are going to be working on doing Zoom and team meetings with our students over the next 12 months, but are looking also at bringing face-to-face appointments back. Our website has got lots of information about what to do when you've just arrived, the types of things you need to think about over your next few months of settling into Birmingham, then what it's like to live in the city and in the region, and all the different types of things that you can do. I don't know if anybody in here has got dependents with them, so those of you who may have children or spouses with you, we've got information on there about schools, about playgroups, about things that families can do together. We also provide an awful lot of general support that comes through different things. So if you've got issues around attendance or engagement with your studies, you're not sure about that. We also work with the well-being officers on all of the different colleges. We will also do some referral and signposting. If you come to us with a question or a concern and not sure what to do, if we can't help, we will point you in the right direction. We primarily give visa advice, so those of you who've had to come through the Home Office visa system will have come across some of my team at some point. We will talk to you about working during your studies, working after your studies, so the new graduate route visa is something that we provide advice on. We also support our students if they're just having general questions, general queries. And something else we do is give advice around travel. So this year our website is going to have lots of information giving you hints and tips on traveling, because that's really important that students travel outside Birmingham and see the rest of the United Kingdom and Europe, but we will be advising students on where to travel and how to travel safely. If you are newly arrived and you need to upload the rest of your immigration documents, so as you've undertaken your right to study check, please do that. Do that as quickly as you can. And then we won't need to worry about our students who arrived. If you need to register with the police and you're not sure what to do about that, send an email to the team. Make sure that you sign up with a doctor as quickly as you can, get yourself registered. Our website has lots of information on how to do that, but make sure that you do, it's really important. And for those of you who have just arrived recently, you need to get your bank accounts open, so do make sure that you look on our website for that information. So that's all I'm going to say to you, really. I just want to say have a great time. Really enjoy what's coming next. Give yourself time to adjust. I think in other years adjusting has been totally different to what adjusting is this year in the light of COVID, but give yourselves time to relax. Give yourselves time to enjoy being in Birmingham, in the city. Make the most of what the university has to offer and the city itself. And remember, if you do have questions or you have any concerns, just contact the international student team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Helen. And now what we're going to try and do is go to some of your questions and answers. So if you go back to Slido on your phone, and some people already have, which is great. We've got some questions and answers coming through already. Now, they won't come up on the screen directly. They come up on my screen, and I'm going to ask our panel to answer them as we go along. And we're going to try and get through as many as I can might not be able to get through all of them. But the first question that was there, and it is actually directed at you, Wei-Lun, you've got fans already in the room. First question for you, Wei-Lun. It says, thanks very much for sharing. I'm really interested to ask you, why did you choose to go to another country to study?
Yes, so when I was in high school, I really wanted to study abroad, and I think about going to different countries as well. Germany, America, all the different countries really, and the UK. And what brought me here is really because the UK is a place of a global community here. And in the UK, you can also travel to Europe, which is quite easy by plane. Every holiday I travel to different European countries, or just Ireland, or the UK, different places. So I really like to travel and see different people. That's why I came to this country, what brought me here to this country.
Fantastic, thanks, Wei-Lun. Professor Mason, I wonder if I could ask you, the question is, in the UK, should I address staff members as Sir and Madam and call them with their title and surname?
No.
I would say no.
So we are a community together. We're all learners at university. Some of us are staff and researchers, but actually we're learning as well. All of our research is about learning. When we're in the classroom, we often learn a lot from the questions that you ask us. So I really encourage you to think of yourself as being a full member of the community. If you feel more comfortable, yes, you can, of course, call me Professor Mason. But if you feel comfortable enough, I'd be delighted if you called me Robin, and that's true of all members of staff and all members of the university. Treat them as your peers, because we're all members of the community together.
Thank you very much, Professor Mason. I've got a few questions. I'm going to direct them to the student end of the panel for a moment. So if I can sort of ask the three of you to do this. I've got a couple, so maybe just see what you think, how you might answer them. So first question for the student end asks about what difficulties you think international students might face, and presumably then your advice for overcoming those difficulties. So hold on to that one for a second. But also, how can I meet new people and make new friends? So maybe if I can ask the three of you to do that, who wants to start off?
I can start off.
There you go.
If you want to meet new people and make friends, I would definitely recommend to join ISA. That's a great place. But, you know, you can join a lot of other societies, turn up to lectures a little bit early, talk to the people sitting by you, in your seminar groups, tutorial groups, a lot of places to meet people, and that's how you kind of start making friends. Don't be scared to approach someone and start talking. Everybody is scared, but everybody wants friends, so go up and talk to them. For the other question, difficulties, what I faced in my first year was that the culture of education that I came from is very, very different from the culture of education here. So I came from a very kind of book-based, exam-based studying, and then suddenly here it's a lot of independent study, a lot of kind of essay writing and all of that stuff, which I was not used to. So the first year was slightly difficult. The best way to overcome it is actually use the different support available on campus. So we have the Academic Skills Center, which do a lot of kind of short courses to improve your essay writing skills, etc. We also have the Birmingham International Academy, which do English-based courses. So if English is not your first language and you feel slightly difficult writing academically in English, then the BIA is a great place to kind of go and brush up your skills.
Excellent. Any other student speakers, do you want to add anything to those two questions? Faith?
I can add something to the first question. I think maybe what helped me was shifting the thought of overcoming to kind of a level of acceptance. I am from another country, and I feel like no matter how long I'm here, it seems like almost every day there's something that it's like, I think I've figured this out about the culture, and it kind of gets dropped in. So sort of just accepting that that's going to happen. And I've made a friend here who's been here. She's also from the United States. She's been here 20 years, and she says that still happens to her from time to time. So I think part of it is accepting that there is going to be that level at all times, and just being like, well, that's part of living in another country. Also, for those of you from the United States, these on my legs are trousers. That's the word for them.
Excellent. Anybody? Anything?
Yeah, I would add one thing in terms of making friends and being like afraid of not having many friends in your first year. Don't be afraid. Just join as many events as you can. Join guilds, society groups. Try not to say no to everything. Just be open to new things. Try out new things. Go out with friends. Go around and visit the city. Just be open to new opportunities.
Thank you very much. Robin, did you want to come in on that one?
Yeah, if I could. Sorry to come back in again, but there was a really interesting point made that I wanted to emphasise, which is, and actually you see this with British students as well as international students. So I say this to all students. When you come to university, do you remember I said it's a learning community and we're all learning together? Part of that is not being afraid to ask questions and not assuming that the person who's teaching you knows all the answers. So a real encouragement, because there are different learning styles at school and at university and different learning styles across different countries. Never be afraid to put your hand up and ask a question. And never just assume that what you're being told must be right. It's that constant questioning. That's what we do in a learning community at university. So it'll take some getting used to, because most of you, and I say this about all students coming from schools, most of you will be used to listening to what you're being told, and then the right thing to do is to repeat that. At university, it's all about asking questions. Never be afraid or never shy away from asking questions.
Thank you very much, Robin. Helen, I've got a couple of quick-fire practical questions for you, if you don't mind. Two very quick questions. One, when can I get my BRP card? I've arrived in the UK 14 days ago.
Oh, no. Okay. What will happen with your BRP card is that you will be sent an email from the international student team, and that will give you a link to book some time, a date or a time that suits you to come and get your card. What I would say is, if whoever's asked the question is in this room today, come and see me after this and I'll take your details and see where your card is. There's going to be a long queue now, but...
That's fine. And another very quick one, although the answer to that is stay in the room afterwards and Helen's going to sort you out, because the next one is, can we talk to the international students team in person?
Yes, we are aiming to do that. We are working really, really well with Zoom and with Teams, but we are aiming to safely talk to our students, because nothing beats face-to-face when you're talking to somebody. So if you want to come and talk to me after this, happy to do it. And the team are planning to be moving in that direction over the next few months.
Terrific. Thank you, Helen. I've got a load of questions. We're not going to get through them all while we're still talking to people who are watching at home. But as many of us as possible are going to hang around for a good half hour after the sort of 5 o'clock when we say goodbye to people watching on the live stream. But I'm going to try and get through another couple before we say goodbye to everybody else at home. Here's perhaps an interesting one, I guess really for the students, and Wei-Lun, you might want to start on this one, because there are a couple of questions in here about student safety. There's questions in here about student safety, particularly for walking home, whether that's walking back to Selly Oak, which is where a lot of our students live, but also about safety in Birmingham in general. Perhaps what might you have to say, what advice might the others have to give about student safety?
Oh, okay, I'll start with giving one advice. Always having someone to accompany you when you're going home at night, when you're going to a place you don't know. Try to get someone to go with you. That's the first advice. And I don't know if other students will have different sorts of advice.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, so you have the UB Safe, which is kind of our on-campus security, and they often give a lot of advice on personal safety. So they give out like personal safety alarms, etc. For people living in Selly Oak, I think the Guild also runs the Selly Express, which should start in a few months, which is about a free kind of shuttle service from the campus to Selly Oaks. If you're staying on campus late, you can avail that, and that's quite a safe way to get home. But yeah, it's always good to not be out really late, or if you're out, just be with someone. Also, don't keep out like valuables in visible portions of the house. So just be safe yourself, and then that should work.
Thank you. Anybody else want to add anything on safety? Please do.
One thing, it's always just make sure whenever you walk in to never put headphones or both earbuds. Just make sure you're always walking in groups. So just text whenever you know you're going home late. Just text someone in a group chat and be like, "Hey, is someone available to walk with me back home?"
Oh, just to add one point. So that's a great thing about being in a group or society, because they check on you, and if you go out with them and then you need to go home early, and you can just text in the group and say you're home, so you have people to check on you. That's things to be in the group.
No, that's terrific. Thank you. One that might be from one of our viewers online. So one of the questions here is about how are international students that are going to join later in the term going to be assisted. So I'm going to try and have a quick go at that one first of all. And that is to say, we have recognised since the summer that for some of our international student community, it was going to be difficult to get here for the start of term. So we've been as flexible as we can be to say that people can join us later in the term, and if necessary, at the start of the next semester. But for those people who are here, I'm sure you've seen, the sun is shining, it's beautiful here in Birmingham. By next week, the sun won't be shining anymore, that'll all be gone. It's just for this week only, we've arranged it. But when you get here, when you can get here, you can be assured of a continuing warm welcome. So all of our welcome facilities, all of our registration, all of our activity will continue on through the rest of the semester, because we're expecting and planning for students to come and join us a little bit later than the ones who have been able to get here now. So please don't worry about that. Try and come and join us when you're able to do so.
And John, sorry to
yes.
And just to reinforce that, so if I think of the teaching that I'm doing, we've set the module up so that people who are here physically in Birmingham can study, but also it'll all be online as well. So those who are unable to join right at the start of the semester can study online until they are able to travel. So it'll all be captured, all be put online, full teaching resources there until you're able to join us in Birmingham.
Excellent, thank you. I'm going to try and do one more of these for as many of the students part of the panel as I can. And as I say, the rest of us are going to hang around as much as possible to see if we can answer your questions. So just come and talk to us. So I'm going to try and get both of these questions in one, because one of the questions is about what's one mistake that you made when you first arrived at the university that you think that we should learn from. But I guess the other side of that, and again, it's just about sort of advice that's going on in the room, that is again about what's been your greatest challenge adjusting to the British higher education system. So maybe a little bit in your answers about what was the challenge, and if you did make a mistake, what did you do, and what advice would you give them, people in the room and at home? Should we go the other way this time? Would you mind starting first?
One of the mistakes I made my first year at the university was I used to say no a lot. I never went out with friends. I didn't join a lot of societies or like sports clubs, and it was a bit lonely during the first semester. But then at the second semester, I was like, okay, now it's time to meet more people, be open, and just try new things. So I did that, and people were amazing. They were all open, because I thought being an international student, they wouldn't be really open for me to join the society, when actually, just don't go with that mindset. Just everyone is acceptable and acceptant, and they would always be welcoming you. So just join as many societies, and sports groups as you can. Also join the ISA as well.
Thank you.
A mistake that I made in the first year, and that my thing kind of ties into both questions, is that I was very, very scared of our lecturers and professors. I don't know why, but I was very intimidated by them. But that's what I would recommend, is don't be intimidated by them. They are some of the sweetest people you will ever meet, and they are here to genuinely support you. As Robin said, that it is a peer community. We all deal with each other like equals, and that is something that I realized pretty late. So yes, go talk to your lecturers before, after lectures, during seminars, contribute to the discussion as much as you can, email them, even with the trivial questions. You feel that they will be angry, but they won't be. Also, make use of drop-in hours. So all teaching staff members usually have 1 or 2 drop-in hours every week. Great place to go, talk to them about anything. If you have any doubts about anything that you didn't understand, if you want a more clarification, drop-in hours are a great place to kind of go and talk to them. So do that. Don't be scared of your teachers. They are very, very good.
Faith.
Well, my first time using money in public, I was buying something that cost 52 pence. I had 50, and in the United States we have something called a take a penny, leave a penny tray or basket, which is if someone has some change left over, they'll leave it for the next person if they want to use a couple of cents. So I saw this nice basket here, and I was like, oh, I need two pence. So I took out 2 individual pence, and the woman looked at me like, no, this is for the disadvantaged children. And then I backed away and saw, the children who I was taking the money from, and, put it back. And I was looking at my handful of change. I did not see 2 pennies. And I was like, oh, I need to get a bill. And the helpful woman pointed at my hand and said, you have a 2 pence coin. This is not a coin that we have in the United States. It's also the largest coin. And so she seemed to be looking at me like maybe I didn't have my helper, I don't know. But so I paid for it, and never ever wanted to come back. But it's just one of those things that it's like, yeah, somehow I'm getting a PhD, I know. But just being prepared that things like that are gonna happen. They're gonna be super embarrassing, but I didn't die.
That's great. So I think that summarising Faith's advice there is don't steal, I think is certainly at least part of that. And luckily, and again in part as a result of the recent pandemic, you'll find that very few places are taking coins and currency anymore. So it's just much easier to use your card. There are some questions in the chat about banks and opening bank accounts, so we'll try and do those for people in the room afterwards. Wei-Lun, last word from you perhaps on those 2 questions.
Yes, just quickly, one mistake I made was not to ask for feedback for the assessments. So they do that because there are formative assessments and lead up to summative assessments, and you can ask us for feedback for your formative assessment. That's going to help with your overall exams later on. So ask for feedback for your assessments.
Terrific. Thank you very much indeed. There are more questions, but there's one more set of questions that we'd like you to fill in just as we're saying goodbye, which is about some of our feedback questions. So again, coming up on your Slido, there'll be something in there asking you about how was the event, was it useful, did we have to do something different, is there something else you would have liked us to have done while we were doing this hour here together. So before I say goodbye to you in the room, I'd like to make sure that we say goodbye to people who are watching at home. Thank you very much for joining us online. We hope to see you in Birmingham as soon as you are able to make it. And because everybody else has given little bits of advice, I'm going to finish off with my 2 bits. But before I do that, would you mind just clapping and thanking all of our panel who have come along and answered your questions and spoken today. And just because everybody else has, my last 2 top pieces of advice for everybody in the room. first one of those, and I guess that's perhaps particularly because this is part of my role at the university, I would say to you, ask for help if you need it. There are 7,000 members of staff at the University of Birmingham, and for all of us, every one of us, it is our job to help you. It is our job to help you, support you, and try and answer your questions, give you advice and guidance, and make your stay at the university and in the United Kingdom as positive as it can be. Sometimes we find that international students in particular are nervous about asking for help or nervous about advice. Don't be. If you need help, if you've got a question, put your hand up, ask somebody. It's what we're here for. Please do ask for help if you need it. And the second thing, and my final thing that I would say, is we bring you together as a collection of international students for these celebration events because we want to see you as a group of international students. But if I had one other piece of advice, it would absolutely be get to know people who are not like you. Get to know people from other countries, other cultures. Wei-Lun talked about exploring Britain and exploring British culture. It was one of the things that you brought up on your slide, and I would absolutely urge you to do that. But I would also say, honestly, you'll need to bear with us a little bit. We're not quite back to normal yet, and that means that people might be a little bit afraid of hugging, handshaking, and all of those kinds of things that you might do. For some people, that's difficult at any time in the year. I'm just going to check, because I always use this example, and it's difficult. Is there anybody in the room from the Dominican Republic? No, I always use that as an example because it's a good one, and because actually where I used to work at another university, lots of students from the Dominican Republic. If you meet somebody from the Dominican Republic, I absolutely guarantee you the first thing that they will want to do is they're going to want to hug you and kiss you. Even if they met you for the first time, that's just a thing. If you're British, that freaks us out completely. So you need to bear with us, even more than you would normally do in or out of a pandemic. It might take a while for us to warm up, but we want to get to know you. We want to learn about you. Our students want to do that. But you might have to just bear with us a little bit and work a little bit harder. But that's why you're here. That's why you've taken that amazing, incredible, brave step to come and study in another country. Make the most of it. Make the most of being at the University of Birmingham. Have a fantastic time if you're with us for one semester, for 1 year, for 3 years, for 4 years, or longer. You are incredibly welcome here in Birmingham. We've missed you so much. We're delighted to have you back. Thank you all for coming this afternoon. Really nice to meet you all. We're going to hang around, but thanks very much to everybody. Thank you and goodbye.